guys, welcome back to LS Vintage Design. I'm Lisa. How's everybody doing today? And this is Henry. You can't see him. The reason I am in my living room on the floor is because we're going to talk about how you can care for your vintage wood tables or your antique wood tables, because it can get kind of tricky if you have a shellac finish and you're going, okay, how do I know? So I'm going to give you the whole 411 on all of this, so you will know exactly what topping or coating your tables have and how to clean them. So let's just get into this video. Right, guys? Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you get some vintage or antique tables is to find out what kind of surface or finish it has on it, because that's going to determine how you clean it and really if it is able to be cleaned. Though I kind of disagree with that part, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So what you're going to want to do is get some denatured alcohol, a pair of gloves, and a Q-tip. That's it. Those three things are going to be able to tell you if your tables have shellac on them or if there's something else. And you want to pick a part of your table that is not the top, obviously, because what's going to happen is if your table has a shellac on the top, which was very popular back in the day, it's going to leave a mark because the denatured alcohol in the Q-tip is going to dissolve it. So we don't want to do this on the top of any table. We want to pick maybe a leg, or if there's like a shelf on the bottom that you can't really see real good, you want to do that. Get your Q-tip really wet in the denatured alcohol. Come down to whatever you're testing, put it on there. If the coating melts off your table, then it is shellac. And it's not real. Okay, it's hard to clean, but there are ways. Trust me. I have all vintage tables, I know. If it doesn't melt off, if it stays, the shiny, glossy finish, then that's perfect. You have some type of varnish, polyurethane coating, whatever. So it's good. You're good to go. And you can actually clean your tables with oil soap. Now, oil soap is different than regular soap. You mix oil soap with some water. You get a mixing bowl, whisk, or a fork. You mix it up. You wipe it on your table, and then you wipe it off. And that will keep your tables nice and healthy and nice and clean. And then you want to make sure you dust your tables often. If you let dust build up on your tables, it could get really bad. Now, I will say this too. I also have used a furniture oil on wood tables, which works great as well. But you just want to make sure dust doesn't build up, because when it builds up, it starts to break down your surface and they'll need to be redone. Now, what happens if you have shellac? What happens if when you did your little hidden test, you noticed the nice shiny part came off? Well, everybody else is going to say call a professional. I'm going to give you some tips you can do. You still will need to call a professional, or you will need to resurface your table. But in the meantime, you can take some water and some Dawn, dip a rag in that, wring it out super well, and scrub your table. That will help to get some of the dirt that's worked its way in and broken down in the shellac. But the problem is shellac starts to break down and it gets sticky. And so dirt gets embedded in it. But Dawn dish soap will even get some of the dirt out in that broken down shellac. If you do manage to get it where it doesn't feel tacky, you do get a big part of the dirt out, then what you're going to want to do is keep it washed. Don't dust, put any chemicals, anything like that on the shellac tables. They're going to need to be redone. But until you can either afford it or you can do it yourself, you want to keep them clean, right? And that's where the Dawn and the water and the cotton rag wrung out real good comes in. That is a great way to keep them cleaner while you're waiting to learn how to strip it off or waiting to be able to have someone come do it for you. Now, the oil soap, that's great. We don't use oil soap. I just keep them really dusted. Now, if you get a set and they haven't been taken care of though, then that's important to do the oil soap. So if you just say, go buy a table like this, and it hasn't been cleaned and you find out it's a varnish or a polyurethane, then definitely clean it with the oil soap. But you only have to do that if you take good care of it, like once a year, twice a year. You know, summer, winter. The heat of the summer, if your house tends to be warm, and the freezing cold of the winter. It'll protect the wood in those temperature changes, especially if you live somewhere like I do, and it's like hot, like 100-degree plus days. So, anyway guys, just a quick little video for you about how to take care of your vintage and antique wood tables. Thanks for being here with me, Sam, and Henry. He's somewhere over here. Take care, and we'll see you next video. Bye.